help, Heather. I don't understand. I can start a program, start a weight loss diet, and I'm super excited, super motivated. But then when I stop doing it and I try to come back to it, I don't feel the same motivation. I don't feel the same excitement that I once did. What is wrong with that? Why am I feeling that way? This was a great question that was asked in one of our Half Size Me community webinars. And I thought this would go really well here on the YouTube channel because I know this is something I've seen so many people struggle with. They will pick up a book that they had followed 10 years ago, quote unquote, had success with, then they try to do it again, but they can't. They'll go to a program that they've tried before, they don't have success. And this is why I really encourage you, and you know I've said this before, this is why I really encourage you to start to create your own plan. Following someone else's rules is not going to be a key to long-term success. I had to break away from that in my journey. I had to take bits and pieces of different things that worked for me and discard the rest, because what would happen is there's a certain level of resentment and rebelliousness that occurs when we feel we've got to live by someone else's protocols, especially when they're not things we really enjoy doing or don't enjoy doing forever. And here's how you know. If you start guns a-blazing, super motivated, you're doing all the things, and then you stopped doing all the things, that to me indicates it's probably not something that's super sustainable for you. So that would be number one. Number two, you're following another program or prescribed diet, and you are basically adhering to what someone else thinks you should or shouldn't be doing. My argument would be to look at your past, see what things that you've done you've enjoyed, that's worked for you. Maybe journaling has worked for you. Maybe doing some type of food prep has worked for you. Maybe eating more fruits and vegetables has felt doable. Make a master list of what you've enjoyed about different programs and things you've tried, and then make a list of the things you didn't like. Maybe there was restrictions on certain things that you were like, you know what, I've had some clients come to me who've done more restrictive things, and they're like, the idea of never eating bread again or drinking wine or whatever, those don't work for me long term. Well, then you shouldn't be doing them. And so every time you go back to those programs and they tell you this is what you have to do, you're of course not going to want to do it, right? So I call it making the program of you for you, making your own program. That is going to help tremendously with adherence. And it's going to help tremendously with you staying more motivated, because then instead of you going by someone else's playbook and saying, okay, they told me I have to do this, I have to eliminate this, I have to have this, you're going to say, what is it that's worked for me? What has not? And then as I move forward, what are some things I can continue to tweak and change that I tend to do? Maybe you tend to eat multiple times a day and you're like, you know what? I probably don't need to eat that many times. Maybe I can cut back some of my eating intervals. Or maybe I'm eating ginormous portions of certain things. Maybe I could cut that back. You can actually evaluate yourself and start to make alterations to what you do to better support your goals. So that is what I want to encourage you to do. So yes, when you do go back to old plans and programs, you not feeling motivated or super jazzed about doing it, or even like you just don't even want to do it again, that's totally normal. We've all been there. It's being seasoned. You are seasoned. And so what you want to do is use all of those previous attempts as a way to become aware of what works for you and what doesn't work, what you liked and what you didn't like. Then create a plan for you, by you. Look at your current habits. Look at what you've been doing and start asking yourself, what is it you want to change long term, and start making a plan to do that. That's going to be a totally different experience because no one else is calling the shots but you. And when you take the power over, while it can be scary and feel a little bit unnerving maybe, the reality is your chance of succeeding long term. And what I mean by that is there isn't a stopping and starting. You know, like I've done this program in the past, I quit it, and now I'm coming back to it. That shouldn't exist. That whole, I started it, I quit it, I come back to it. It should be I started it, continuously tweaked it, maybe got to a place of maintenance with it, and then I chose to come back to it and start to refine it. There should never be a stopping and starting, right? That's where we're trying to move away from. It should just be a continuation of progression and change. So I just want to encourage you to think differently about it, create a plan for you, by you, and get support in the Half Size Me community. That's what we're there for. We support each other as we begin to figure out what does work for us and make modifications and tweaks. There's no judgment. We try to keep it a completely judgmental free zone to where you can be you can learn in your own process and grow, because I think that's how we all do best. And we're all in it together because we're all dealing with the exact same struggle. You guys have a great day. Please join us. It's halfsizeme.com/join. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm turning out content here for you guys regularly, and then share the videos to help others. You guys take care. I'll talk to you soon.